Welcome back to Gabe in the Cage. Obviously a great segment for me because I love to talk about MMA, boxing, whatever it is. And fun segment for Gunner as well. Fun segment for me to be allowed to speak about these things in front of Gunner. It allows me to kind of just talk about everything, teach him a little bit about the stuff that I'm interested in, teach you a little bit about the stuff that I'm interested in. And one of the good things about the month of September is we've got a lot going on. No UFC pay-per-view, which is a little unusual, but that's because Dana White is spending a lot of his time promoting a boxing card going on September 13th, which is my birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday. Appreciate it. That night is Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford.
Yep.
If you're around the fighting space, you've definitely heard about it.
Even if you're not around it, you probably heard somebody.
You probably heard about it. If Canelo's fighting, you've heard about it.
Even if Terrence Crawford's fighting.
If Terrence Crawford's fighting, you've probably heard about it. Yeah, so they're going head-to-head. Turkey Al-Sheikh put the money down. Got them to agree to a fight free on Netflix. Well, live on Netflix. Yeah, you have to pay for Netflix. But, I mean, the quality of the fight, you get a Netflix subscription, definitely worth it more than the $70, $80 pay-per-views that you pay for one event, and sometimes the event doesn't even... I've known a couple of pay-per-views that didn't even like show up, or there was issues with the broadcast. So we're going to Netflix. It'll probably break the service. I know that the Paul versus Tyson got at Netflix to get shut down, so I think that's probably going to break the service, but something to keep an eye on because it's pretty much unheard of. You never really see too many guys fighting from two separate weight classes, especially the discrepancy, I believe, is 2 weight classes. And for superstars of the sport, pound for pound superstars, Canelo's like 4th, Crawford's like 3rd, 4th. Yeah, it's a great fight. I think that Canelo, obviously, is the bigger guy, has been in there with all of anybody that you can name. He got the Floyd fight. He's got the Bivol fight, both of which he ended up losing. But I think that those are both very great experiences for him.
That was a while ago, too.
That was a while ago, exactly. But, you know, people still give Canelo trash for losing to those guys. Obviously, in my mind,
I don't think anybody should ever give somebody trash for losing to Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Everyone loses to Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, and then even Dimitri Bivol, one of the top boxers in the sport now, he had to go up a weight class to fight him. Ended up losing by decision, which is whatever. Lost 2 decisions to some of the best boxers of his generation.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll mind very much. Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the best boxers of the generation as well. He's a switch hitter, very good counter striker. Not really something that Canelo's too unfamiliar with, though. He's fought some switch hitters. I believe Ryder was a switch hitter, and then a lot of counter punchers throughout his career. He kind of learned how to counter punch off of that Floyd fight. Just because Floyd is able to use the mixed flow between defense and offense so smoothly that he picked off of that and learned how to utilize head movement, and then utilize that into like learning how to get different leverages and positions to throw punches in, how he could generate the most power. But you can't fall asleep against a guy like Crawford.
I mean, Floyd revolutionized defense.
Yeah,
with the Philly shell.
The Philly shell basically didn't get hit.
Yeah, I mean, and he protects his body with his other free hand. So smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Canelo facing a guy like Floyd Mayweather very early on in his career, and then he's been dominant since then. I definitely believe that nobody should give him crap for losing to those fights.
Very good guys. And I have a ton of respect for Terrence Bud Crawford. Obviously, most people do in the sport. He's a dangerous switch hitter, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think he brings enough power, especially considering Canelo's fought guys heavier than him, to kind of put the hurt on him. I think he, you want to say that he could do it by decision, but even then, Canelo's fought to a lot of decisions, especially recently. Older in age, hasn't been getting as many knockouts. He's gotten a lot of knockdowns, but not too many knockouts because he's not really, standing in the fire the whole time. Obviously, learning from that Floyd fight. Before then, he would stand in the fire and get knockouts, but now it's a lot more even keeled, kind of working his way, finding those shots that do produce those knockdowns, but he's not gonna be like throwing it all.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lighter guy too, so he's not a heavyweight.
Yeah, so Canelo, I got Canelo in that fight. I just think that he probably does get a knockdown on Crawford, and I know that's crazy to say. I think Crawford's hasn't been knocked down. If he has, it's been one time, and it was controversial, considered a slip or something. But yeah, Canelo, generational fighter, has been doing it for the last couple of decades, and I think he's still very capable. Has shown it in his last couple of fights against like Berlanga, dropped him, finished him actually. Yeah, he still got it. I don't think a switch hitter is going to be mixing it up enough to really confuse him. And
I also don't think that like Canelo is going to be fighting for very much longer because he is getting a little older. So he's probably ready to leave it all out on the line.
Yeah, for sure. This is not going to be. Yeah, I think it'd be a good fight, especially something you can watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think the event starts at 6.
Yeah, if I don't got to pay for it, I'm absolutely tuning in.
Yeah, for sure. Netflix, you gotta give it a go. So yeah, we got that on September 13th that night. Another UFC promoted boxer, Callum Walsh, fighting in the co-main event of that card. So definitely something to look out for, that September 13th boxing card. But that's not all we got going on, because UFC is still going on. UFC, year-round sport. This weekend, September 6th, this is September 1st, as of when we're recording this podcast. September 6th, Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borralho. Many consider this the number one contender fight. Imavov has been the number one contender at middleweight 185 for cool 8 months now. He knocked out Israel Adesanya in like the first round of their fight, which was pretty unprecedented. Izzy's one of the best strikers in the sport, so nobody thought that was going to happen. Imavov's got good boxing though, so led to the overhand right securing him knockdown, finished off the fight from there. He's fighting Borralho, a fighting nerd. This is a Brazilian group of guys. His teammate Mauricio Rufy fighting in the co-main event against lightweight Benoit Saint-Denis. But Borralho, 17-1 in the sport, just fought Jared Cannonier to a decision where he knocked him down in the 5th round. Had him battered and bloodied. Not too many guys beat up Jared Cannonier the way that Borralho was able to. Not too many guys stand in the octagon for 25 minutes the way that Borralho was able to. So I think he's very unique because the different guys in the fighting nerds are good at different things. Some are better at submissions. Some are better at, getting stylish, flashy knockouts. Like Rufy got a spinning heel kick knockout on Bobby Green. Put him out cold last time out. But Borralho's he's a more well-balanced guy. Doesn't get as many knockouts, but it's kind of hard to when you're at the top of the division. Rufy's making his way up. Prates, another guy, about to fight for Leon Edwards for top contender spot. But Borralho's a very well-balanced guy. His submission game is very good. Submission defense. Wrestling's very good. Striking's good. He does it all over. And I think that when Imavov's facing a guy like Izzy, who's kind of worried about the takedown, Izzy was leaning back, kind of trying to create space between him and Imavov. That's when the overhand right landed. I don't think Borralho is going to respect that space a whole lot. And when you're respecting space, sometimes you can get a little lackadaisical with your defense because you're focused on footwork, getting out of the way when you got a punch coming right over the top. So I think that Borralho's a little more clean with the defense. Hasn't gotten dropped, I don't think, in the UFC. I think he's also undefeated in the UFC, along with every other fighting nerd. So I think Borralho was able to take it out. I got decision win for him. He doesn't take a lot of these to knock out. It's not
he's
like
technically
Imavov's
the underdog, no?
He's the underdog because Imavov's been the number one contender for like 8 months now, like I said.
Yeah.
And
wow. Upset. Gabe predicting the upset.
I got the upset. I like these fighting nerds guys. They have a good brand of fighting. I don't think that just because I say decision, I don't mean it's going to be a boring fight by any stretch of the word.
Yeah.
Borralho's an extremely exceptional fighter. I think they're going to be striking. You're going to see some grappling. All I know is that the blood will be shed on September 6th. It's a Brazil versus Paris card. We've got, I think, 5 Brazilian fighters fighting 5 French fighters on that card.
Where's it at?
It's in Paris.
Oh, that makes sense. Obviously.
It's a noon start time on that card. So main event will be around.
I'm curious why
2:30.
they got all the Brazilian guys though.
It's interesting, right? Because UFC Rio's like September or October. It's in October, so why
Wow.
would you not have the
Right?
Brazilians
Yeah,
fight?
that's all right. That's odd. You know,
But there's still a ton of Brazilians on that card. So
that's true. What's up after that?
after this card, this
Yeah.
weekend, next weekend, September 13th, my birthday, we also have a card in San Antonio, Texas, UFC Noche. This is the annual Mexican heritage event.
Okay,
Um,
that's cool. I didn't know they do that.
yeah, we've been doing it for 3 years now, I think. Started with Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. I think that was their second fight.
She's
Shevchenko.
so technical. I love that.
She's a dog. Her fight, she's going to defend her title in November against Zhang Weili. They just announced that.
Those are my two favorite UFC fighters.
That's a super fight right there.
I love them. So like Zhang Weili, I just like the way she just leaves everything out there. I've seen her shed more blood in the UFC than probably anybody else. She just lays everything out. And then Shevchenko's the most technical fighter I've ever seen out of that women's card. I mean, out of probably like the UFC, if I'm being honest. I don't remember who she was fighting, but the first time I was introduced to her, she just waited on everything, and everything had a counter. If you get like a sloppy little shin kick, counter.
Yeah.
Sloppy little jab, counter. Everything. Yeah. Everything had a counter. And it wasn't just like one counter, it was a combo. Just like you threw one little tiny jab and it was, counter, counter, counter. And I was
Sharp Muay Thai combo.
I just couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with that style of game.
Yeah. Shevchenko used to be a kickboxer, so that's why her striking looks so good, countering. Her wrestling's fantastic. Ever since she got in the UFC, she's improved on her grappling
So
by
unheard of
tenfold.
too with a kickboxer.
Oh yeah, 100%. And one thing that kind of allows her to do that is she modified her stance a little bit. Obviously, in kickboxing, you can be a little more wide stance, just able to create a lot of leverage. Whereas when you're in UFC, you kind of have to have a little tighter of a stance because takedowns are coming. You need to be able to react quicker, sprawl and stuff. So she has like a tight stance, but she's like just like bouncing, just like in the same position. So she like, I don't want to say that she's completely a counter puncher, but like she can create offense, and if you want to throw offense at her, she will make you pay for it. Because she's sitting like this, like she's not like doing too much with her body. She's just waiting. She's looking at you, waiting for the strikes to come. If they come at her, she's able to throw off a 2-3 strike counter that is pretty devastating.
I love that. Hey, we might need to have a Kings of Second Street watch party for that.
Oh yeah,
for that
100%.
Weili Shevchenko fight. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the co-main event of the Pereira versus Ankalaev.
We need to have a fight. We need to have a fight party watch party for that.
Yeah, well, I'd definitely be down to do a little live stream watching onto the pay-per-view. That'd be nice. That'd be a fun
absolutely.
time. But back to this weekend. Back to the weekend after. So we have two fighting nerds fighting on the Imavov versus Borralho card. We have Rufi and Borralho. The next weekend on September 13th is a 3 p.m. start time in San Antonio. We have Jean Silva, another fighting nerd, fighting Diego Lopez in the main event, in which many consider to be a number 2, number 1 contender fight at featherweight, which is Volkanovski's division. If something crazy happens, you could see one of you guys potentially fighting for the title, like say Jean Silva, who's become like one of the best knockout artists in the UFC, just like flatlining people. If he gets a quick knockout, doesn't get hurt, you could see him fighting for the title. But Lerone Murphy, in this previous card, fighting nerds. Lerone Murphy got a spinning back elbow KO on Aaron Pico, which is like a Bellator prospect. Pico used to be like a NCAA All-American. He was really highly touted coming into MMA. Fought in Bellator, came over. First fight against a top contender. It was on short notice for Murphy. He wasn't set to fight anybody. Came in, knocked him out with a spinning back elbow, which was the fight after Carlos Prates, the fourth and final fighting nerd, who knocked out Joff Neal with a spinning back elbow. So we had 2 back-to-back spinning back elbows. Very entertaining. I'll put a little like screenshot of where they made contact, but if you want to go look those up on the UFC Instagram or some TikTok or anything like that, those are very nice knockouts. If you're into that kind of stuff, I don't know, you might not like seeing somebody get knocked out cold, but for me, it was pretty entertaining.
Gabe does.
Yeah, go watch that if you're into that. But
I don't know if anyone else liked it as much as Gabe.
I'm a little maniac about
If it
this
wasn't a
stuff.
sport, I'd probably like be worried about
A
you.
little worried, right. So we put sport on it, but just feeding into our vices. Anyways, Jean Silva versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez fought Volkanovski for the title after Topuria vacated to go up to lightweight. Ended up losing the decision to Volkanovski, which, I mean, nobody's going to take anything away from you for that. It's Volkanovski. He's one of the greatest featherweights of all time. Man's a decision machine. He can go 25 minutes easily. Cardio's there. Skills are there all the way across the board. Really just beat Diego up in the wrestling, which was kind of surprising because Diego's known as a grappler, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but couldn't really show out too much there. And I think that kind of doesn't bode well for him in a matchup against John Silva, who has competed in grappling, not known for grappling because he prefers to stay on the feet, but that's because you can't take him down. Like many people have tried in the UFC. He's got phenomenal takedown defense. And not only like that, but like as you're trying to take him down, he's talking to you, like calling you names and stuff, like really frustrating you, and then you get back on the feet trying to strike with him, and then he knocks you out. So he's a very psychological fighter. Taunts a lot. Starts barking at you before the fight, and like it's a lot of stuff going on there. But he he competed against Mika Galvão, who is one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grapplers in the world. If he can compete at a high level, then he's not going to have too many problems with a guy like Diego Lopez. Especially with the fighting nerds, they have all very good training partners there. It's a growing gym in Brazil, so they're getting a bunch of new faces, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're going to get plenty of good training partners down there. I think Silva, by round 2, KO. I think straight KO. I don't even think we're getting a TKO. I think he just flatlines him with like an overhand right or something. Just gets him up against the fence, start throwing combos, slips one over the top, kind of like Topuria does, and finds himself in position to maybe fight for the title. But I think Murphy with the spinning back elbow is going to get the opportunity first.
All right.
So, yeah, hopefully you're able to enjoy the next couple fight cards coming up. I love to talk about this stuff. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to talk about, I will chit-chat with you in the comments. I love talking this stuff, so...
Yeah, I want you guys to know on this computer and his computer, there are no notes about anything with the UFC. That was
I was
all
literally
from
just
his
looking
brain.
at the cards.
We have plenty of notes about other things and stats, but that was all of his brain. The only thing he's looking at is the fight card that is coming up.
Yeah.
So the fact that he knows all that, this is what I mean when I say that I commend your genius of the UFC, because I don't know if I've ever met someone with this level of ball knowledge in the UFC.
Hey.
I don't even know if it's called ball knowledge, just bag knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, this is
He's got a very deep bag, and I think that we all got a little bit smarter from this today. I think we all learned a lot. Might have to go rewatch it a couple times to fully understand it because there's so much information.
So much information.
But at the end of the day, it's like that's awesome that you can just have all that information stored away in your head.
Yeah, let me know if you want some more structure to it. I kind of just went and banged out every card and started talking about different people everywhere, but hopefully it was in an enjoyable manner. Hopefully I'm like engaged with it.
Just bang it out in the streets.
Yeah, just bang it out in the streets, It's Fight Club.
My family will get that.
I don't, but
Yeah, it's inside joke. Anyway, that wraps it up though, right?
That wraps up Gabe in the Cage.
Shout out Gabe in the Cage.
Yeah, next time up we'll be talking October pay-per-views, which will be a lot of fun for me. But yeah, until then, enjoy the Canelo Crawford fight card. Enjoy the couple UFC cards coming up.
There you go. Where can they watch those? The Canelo's on Netflix. Where are the other ones?
Both will be on ESPN Plus. So
Awesome.
Until next year, when the Paramount Plus deal clocks in, like $7 billion deal between Paramount and the UFC to get exclusive viewing rights. So that'll be
That's the way it works now. We are in the stream era. The UFC is following. I mean, they're part of the TKO board, which is
group.
what the WWE is like under. That's like the parent company of the UFC and the WWE is the TKO group, and so that's kind of just the era that we're in. I mean, the WWE they switched from pay-per-view a couple years ago to Peacock streaming, and now they're on Netflix with Raw, and it's insanely more popular than SmackDown on USA Network. It's just that's what works.
And that attributed to the UFC's decision to go to Paramount because
Exactly.
a lot of people were speculating that they go to Netflix because obviously WWE has the deal with them now. But I mean, fishing up $7 billion is a lot for anything. And I think it's nice for Paramount because they don't really have a lot of sports going on. It's not like a whole lot of like they'll be the primary like place for UFC
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's nice for them. It's nice for the UFC. They're ditching the pay-per-view model. I don't know if I mentioned that or anything, but kind of going the same route as the WWE.
It's
But
just so much better. Because if you're a diehard fan of this, it's so much easier to just go to the one place for it all the time. I think like a great example of how it doesn't work well is the NFL, right? How they have, oh, I have to watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. And then Sunday, it's Fox, CBS, NBC. Monday nights, ESPN. Oh, this game's on Roku for the MLB. This game is on Apple TV. This game's on Netflix. There's just too many, right? So having them all documented in one place is the best. Because I, as someone who actively keeps up with the WWE, watching them all on Peacock, it just makes my life so much simpler. Because I'm not going to shell out money for the pay-per-views. I'm just not. But I will pay monthly for the Peacock, right? And they're going to make more money doing that. Because more people are out there like me that's like, yeah, I got $7 for Peacock, but I'm not going to spend $100 on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I think there's a lot more opportunity in the stream era, and keeping it all on one platform, not just whoever bids on it that week. I think that's the better strategy.